Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WWE Universe. As I'm here to look at post-Mania Raw. Yes, the Raw after Mania is finally on the review session here. So let's see what we witnessed on Monday Night Raw. Now, of course, SmackDown will be taking theirs tonight, and I will probably, I don't know, I might discuss about any superstars. I might discuss it on the Facebook page. Might do a video, just we'll have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, the night after WrestleMania, let's see what went down. So, of course, Ronda Rousey, obviously Stephanie McMahon selling the whole broken arm thing, which is kind of what the fans wanted to see, really. Her with the broken arm and stuff, and obviously Ronda Rousey was pretending to be nice about it, and then all of a sudden, Ronda Rousey was like, you know what? Yeah, you had your huggy moment. You had we had our friendly moment, but now we're just going to continue to break your arm and see how long it takes you to try and come out. And then the fans were like chanting at her, saying, Stephanie McMahon saying you tapped out and all that. And then obviously the fans asked for him to do it. So there you go. It was. So yeah, that was a fun moment right there. Ronda Rousey taking down Stephanie McMahon, which was really, really cool to watch. So, Ronda Rousey still looking strong after WrestleMania, and we didn't get to hear from her about what where she's going to end up from now. But it's good to see that Ronda Rousey's looking strong after WrestleMania. So it begs the question: who will Ronda Rousey face next? We'll find out hopefully soon enough. And then we come to the first of the matches, the first women's match of the night, which would be a tag team match. Of course, Nia Jax coming out for the first time as the Raw Women's Champion after successfully beating Alexa Bliss. And obviously Alexa Bliss along with Mickie James coming out. And obviously Alexa Bliss trying to claim that Nia Jax was bullying Mickie James and herself. And then eventually Nia Jax surprised the world by announcing that her tag team partner was Ember Moon. Yes, the recent NXT Women's Champion, who has now become a member of the Raw brand, and she's now officially on Raw and joined Nia Jax as her tag partner during the Monday Night Raw. So Ember Moon is now part of Raw, or depending on what the outcome will be next week, whether she will still be on Raw remains to be seen, because I'll explain why very shortly, but like I said, Ember Moon picking up her first win on Monday Night Raw, beating Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, along with her partner being the Raw Women's Champion, Nia Jax. Pretty cool, huh? So that was the first of the debuts from NXT to main roster, Ember Moon. And then we have a second one being No Way Jose, who would finally make his debut on the main roster to take on Johnny Skyler, who was just one of these independent stars who took part in an opponent for No Way Jose. And No Way Jose literally won. He literally won his debut on Raw, and he looked pretty cool on Raw as well, which is really nice. So it was really cool seeing No Way Jose becoming a part of Monday Night Raw. You never know. He might go to SmackDown Live by next week. Who knows? But at least we got to see No Way Jose finally being called from NXT to main roster. So he's the second person from NXT who is now a part of the main roster in WWE. And then we come to some sad news, of course, where, of course, you probably heard the previous review. We had Braun Strowman, along with that fan, Nicholas, winning the Raw Tag titles. But obviously Braun Strowman said they had to put their titles out. You have to relinquish their titles due to Nicholas's schedule, because he's still at school. He's still in 4th grade right now. And Braun Strowman said, we'll be back for those titles once Nicholas is, done with school and stuff. But interestingly enough, obviously, Kurt Angle announced it, a 2-week tournament for Raw by Raw General Manager called Tag Team Eliminator, where the winners will battle Cesaro and Sheamus for the vacated titles at the Greatest Royal Rumble event, which is on April 27th. So the winner will end up facing Cesaro and Sheamus on April 27th in a European country for the greatest Royal Rumble event. So the first of these matches would see the Revival take on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The Revival would end up looking strong, beating Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and they would end up getting themselves an opportunity to hopefully win themselves the Raw Tag Titles. And then, of course, we come to a segment where Seth Rollins would come out talking about, being the Grand Slam Rollins, as yes, he's finally a Grand Slam winner in WWE, which is a big moment for Seth Rollins. And then we also have Finn Balor, who came out and said, hey, I want to be the first guy that challenges for the Intercontinental title. And then eventually The Miz would say, you know what, I'm putting my rematch clause on your championship. And obviously, it was because of that, it has been announced that Seth Rollins will defend his title against The Miz at Backlash for the Intercontinental Championship. But in regards to Monday Night Raw, of course, The Miz and The Miz Taraj were hoping to get their hands on Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And then all of a sudden, Jeff Hardy comes back. Yes, the Jeff Hardy, we've all been wondering when's he going to come back. Well, he's obviously come back on Raw to join Seth and Finn Balor to be a part of this six-man tag against The Miz and Miz Taraj later in the evening. So then, of course, we come to the second and final women's match where we will see Sasha Banks taking on Mandy Rose, which is pretty cool. Yes, Mandy Rose getting the opportunity to face Sasha Banks. But what's really interesting is that Mandy Rose, for some reason, the Raw website seems to think that Sasha Banks won the match when technically that wasn't the case, because technically Bayley basically hit Sasha Banks during the match outside of the ring, and then Mandy Rose literally beat Sasha Banks. So technically it was Mandy Rose who won the match, not Sasha Banks. But anyways, Mandy Rose would come out strong, beating Sasha Banks, and obviously Bayley walks away after realizing that she hit Sasha, which I think it was, again, I still believe Bayley's going to turn heel at some point, because it's all building up. This whole Sasha and Bayley talk it's all building up to something, isn't it? So that was the deal for that match. But I guess next week we'll hopefully find out. Mind you, though, there is a possibility that either Bayley or Sasha may end up going to SmackDown due to the, by the way, might as well say it here, Superstar Shakeup is next week on Raw and SmackDown, so there's a high possibility Sasha and Bayley may end up moving. Both of them may go to SmackDown. One of them may go to SmackDown. Either way, we'll find out for sure next week, but should be interesting to see what goes down between Bayley and Sasha, and whether that match will finally happen when we get to Backlash. Hopefully we'll find out soon. But the one thing that did take place in this segment was the fact that Paige was alone in the ring, because she told Mandy Rose and Sonya to go back to the locker room because she had something to say to us. And Paige wanted to make this announcement to the world, and she felt it was the right time to do it. And basically the announcement was that despite the fact that Daniel Bryan gives her hope from her neck injury, she says that she wants to announce her in-ring retirement right now, and might as well get it out of the way while she's at it, and Paige, and then obviously the fans were saying that this was her house and all that, and she really appreciates Edge and Daniel Bryan. She also, the fact that Daniel Bryan gave her hope, and then Edge, who saw her, and there was life outside of WWE. So who knows? Maybe there's hope for Paige to come back, but we'll just have to go with the flow for now and see where things go from here. But really sad news that Paige had to retire from WWE. But at least she got it out of the way, and you came clean with us about it. And hopefully, who knows? Maybe she'll eventually get cleared down the road. We'll just see. We'll see where things go from here. And then, of course, we come to the Elijah segment where Elijah was doing the whole guitar stuff just like he was at WrestleMania, trying to overshadow The Undertaker's return last night, which I still think was a bit stupid, but fans liked it, apparently. But the one thing that really got the fans talking was the fact that Bobby Lashley finally makes a return to WWE. Yes, the rumors were true. Bobby Lashley is back in the WWE now, and he certainly made work on Eliza and literally made a statement on the first night, on his first night back in WWE. And then he had an interview backstage, and he said, "You know what? The fans are going to tell him, hey, there's a lot of dream matches we want you to be a part of." And he says he wants to be a part of every single one of them. So if you have any dream matches that you think Bobby Lashley should take part in this year or throughout the years he's in WWE, then, make sure you let him know. And who knows, WWE might be listening and might make those dream matches happen. You never know, because, it's really cool. Really cool that Bobby Lashley's back, because it begs the question, will he go after Brock Lesnar? Will he not go after Lesnar? It's going to be very interesting how things develop here and what his first match is going to be. Whether he'll compete at Backlash remains to be seen, but I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty sure he'll have a match at Backlash, and it'll be interesting to see who Bobby Lashley will challenge for his first match back. But, so that's really cool. Bobby Lashley back in the WWE. Will he be a part of Raw or SmackDown next week? We'll find out whether he goes back to Raw, whether he stays on Raw, whether he goes back to SmackDown. We'll see. So then we come to a normal tag match. It's not a tag team eliminator match, but it's just a normal tag match. And Heath Slater and Rhino decided, hey, we want to have a tag match. We want to take, they feel pretty annoyed that they weren't allowed to take part of the tag team eliminators. So Heath Slater and Rhino said, you know what, we want to be a part of a tag match. And then they said, all right, we want to see who wants to take us on. And then what do they get? They get the newest tag team on Monday Night Raw. The former NXT tag champions themselves, the Authors of Pain, finally came to main roster this week. And, well, you saw for yourselves, didn't you? The Authors of Pain literally dominated Heath Slater, and Heath Slater didn't feel them coming at all because, obviously the Authors of Pain are literally a very dominant team on NXT, and they're certainly going to be dominant throughout the next year. They're going to literally dominate Monday Night Raw if they're staying on Raw, that is. So no question about it. But that's really cool. Authors of Pain becoming members of seeing the Authors of Pain come to Raw and actually take part in a tag match, even though they recently lost their opportunity to regain their NXT tag titles. It's great to see Authors of Pain in WWE. It's so cool. That's really cool. And then we come to the Roman Reigns segment where Roman Reigns talks about the recent news that came just before Raw, where WWE announced that Brock Lesnar had re-signed with WWE, and this would lead to Brock Lesnar facing Roman Reigns at the Greatest Royal Rumble on April 27th inside a steel cage. Yes, WWE made that official on WWE.com, and then of course Roman Reigns made it clear that he didn't even know about it until he read the internet, which is really interesting. So he was the last person to know about it. But what was really interesting is the fact that Samoa Joe comes out and says, stop making excuses, Roman. You say you're going to beat Brock Lesnar, you keep telling us, and then Brock Lesnar beats the hell out of you. And he said, you know what, you finish off this business with you and Lesnar, and I'll wait for you at Backlash where I will put you to sleep. So obviously that made it official that Roman Reigns will meet Samoa Joe at Backlash. Those two will meet. Whether Roman Reigns will be Universal Champion at Backlash remains to see, but should be interesting. Should be interesting where things go regarding Roman Reigns' hopefully his final battle with Brock Lesnar, and whether this will lead to Lesnar still being the face of Raw, or whether Roman Reigns will take that title from him. It should be interesting. But anyways, we come to the next tag team eliminator match where the Woken Hardy, along with his newest partner Bray Wyatt, which I mean, it's so cool seeing Bray Wyatt as a goodie here, taking on Tyrus Worldwide in a tag team eliminator match. And of course, the Woken Hardy and Bray Wyatt end up winning their tag match. Now, earlier in the night, we saw Jeff Hardy hugging Bray Wyatt, which was a really bizarre moment. Seeing Matt Hardy speak to his brother Jeff, and then seeing Bray thanking Jeff, which is really weird. Like, he's been Bray Wyatt's literally become a completely new person since he came out of the Lake of Reincarnation, which is really weird. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting to see how Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy coexist and how they're going to win the tag titles. If they do win the tag titles, oh man, that's going to be something, man. That's going to be something. So, yeah, certainly looking forward to it. And then we come to the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match, which ended with a no contest, unfortunately, because we didn't have a winner. The reason why Kurt Angle made these two face each other was because he said he could only give out a Raw contract to one of them. But unfortunately, both men were unable to successfully put either away. And I think it was a given because both men are meant to be heels at the moment. But then at the same time, it would make sense that perhaps they'll keep coming to Kurt Angle asking for a Raw contract, and this will lead to hopefully them becoming a member of Raw and hopefully having a position in that brand, which will be really cool. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens between now and the next couple of weeks to see if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn finally get their Raw contract and finally become a team on Monday Night Raw. So then we come to the main event, the six-man tag, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Jeff Hardy versus The Miz and Miztourage. And of course, that leads to Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Jeff Hardy winning the six-man tag, looking strong at the end of Raw. And of course, Seth Rollins is pretty excited for the Superstar shakeup next week. When he was interviewed backstage, he's pretty. He believes there's a dream match in between himself and AJ Styles because he really likes the sound of him facing AJ Styles, which is really cool. That Seth Rollins wants to face AJ Styles because a lot of people seem to think that this may be a cool match to watch. So who knows? Maybe we'll see Seth Rollins and AJ Styles in a match at some point down later this year. Who knows? But it should be interesting to see what the shake-up's going to be next week. Who's going to be on Raw? Who's going to be on SmackDown? And also, who will debut on SmackDown this evening? Because we've had a few NXT members debut. We've had Ember Moon. We've had No Way Jose. We had... and then, of course, we also had the Authors of Pain come to Monday Night Raw. And then we had 3 returning superstars such as Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, and, of course, Jeff Hardy. All 3 of these people came back on Monday Night Raw and made an impact. So it should be very interesting to see who Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle bring to their brands next week. So maybe let me know your predictions in the comment section. Who would you like to see, or perhaps let me know who would you like to see come to Raw and SmackDown? Who would you want to represent SmackDown? Who would you want to represent Raw throughout the course of the next year? Let me know who you would like to see on each brand, because both of these brands are going to obviously have an impact in regards to where we head in regards to WrestleMania 35, because it's all going to come down to which superstars are going to be relevant by the time WrestleMania 35 comes around, because it's all about who they want to see on the road to WrestleMania 35. Who would they want to see? Who would they like to build up on as we head towards next year's Mania in New York, New Jersey, which is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to build upon, building up to that next WrestleMania, and who would they want to see in the main event, etc. So it's going to be, and also it's going to be interesting to see who will be the next Money in the Bank this year, because we know Carmella's yet to cash in. I'm pretty sure she will do by the time the week is over, because she's so desperate to cash in. You can tell at WrestleMania she's really desperate to get this thing done. So I wouldn't be surprised if she cashes in by tonight or next week. Either way, it's going to happen. And then the question will be, who will be taking the briefcase next? Who will be the next Money in the Bank holder? It should be interesting to talk about as we head to the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then, of course, and then also, who could they be building up on in regards to SummerSlam? Who are they going to want to headline SummerSlam this year? So it's going to be interesting couple of months we've got for WWE in regards to who are they going to look upon when it comes to SummerSlam and selling tickets for the big party of the summer. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the and also I'll probably put the Facebook page in the description probably, and as we'll find out which NXT stars are going to be coming to SmackDown, and more importantly, whether Carmella finally cashes in on SmackDown Live. Will she do it? We'll find out tonight, I guess. So see you then.